Long ago, near a quiet mountain village in old Japan, there lived a poor charcoal burner named Yosaku. His cottage stood where the fields ended and the forest began. In the morning, he climbed the mountain paths with a basket on his back. At night, he came home with smoke in his sleeves, dust on his sandals, and only a little rice in his bowl. But Yosaku had one treasure no poverty could take from him: a heart that noticed small things. One cold evening, as the sun sank behind the pines, Yosaku found an old traveller sitting beside a roadside Jizo. The traveller was wrapped in grey robes, and his hands trembled from hunger. Yosaku had only one rice ball left. He looked at it. He looked at the old man. Then he smiled and placed the rice ball in the traveller's hands. "Please," he said, "eat this before the night grows colder." The old traveller ate slowly, as if every grain of rice were a blessing. When he had finished, he reached into his sleeve and drew out a folded hood of plain indigo cloth. It was not embroidered. It had no gold thread, no jewel, no sign of power. Yet when Yosaku took it, the cloth felt warm, like something that had been held close to a fire. "This is a listening hood," the traveller said. "Wear it only when you are ready to listen." Yosaku bowed his head in thanks. When he looked up again, the traveller was already walking away down the forest path. Mist gathered between the trees. 1 step, 2 steps, 3, and the old man was gone. Only the Jizo remained, smiling quietly in the dusk. The next morning, Yosaku sat outside his cottage and unfolded the hood. "Ready to listen," he murmured. He placed it over his head. At first, nothing happened. Then, from the roof beam above him, a sparrow chirped. But in Yosaku's ears, the chirp became words. "Cold feet, cold feet, cold feet. Why do humans build roofs and forget the birds?" Yosaku nearly fell backward. All that day, the world grew wider. In the forest, leaves whispered about rain. Beetles muttered under the bark. A crow complained that the wind was rude. The old trees spoke most slowly of all. Their words were not like human words. They were deep and patient, full of seasons, roots, snow, and sun. Yosaku walked carefully, afraid to miss even the smallest voice. Several days later, Yosaku went down to the town to sell charcoal. There he heard sad news. In the largest house near the river, a girl named Hana had fallen into a strange fever. Doctors had come with bitter medicines. Priests had come with prayers. Her mother had sat beside her through 7 long nights. But Hana did not wake. Her breathing was soft as ash. At the gate of the house, a notice had been posted. It promised a rich reward to anyone who could discover the cause of the sickness. Men read it and shook their heads. Women whispered behind their sleeves. Yosaku stood at the edge of the crowd, one hand resting on the folded hood at his belt. He was no doctor, he was no priest, but he knew how to listen. The family allowed him into the garden. There stood an old pine tree, bent and beautiful, its long branches leaning over a dry stream bed. Yosaku put on the indigo hood and sat beneath it. He did not speak. He did not hurry. At first he heard only wind. Then sparrows in the branches began to whisper. "The root hurts. The water cannot pass. The house grows heavy with thirst. Yosaku placed his palm on the earth. Far below, something groaned. It was the old pine. For many years, it whispered, my roots drank from the spring beneath this garden. But a heavy stone was set upon me. The water was sealed. The earth soured. The child's room lies above the blocked spring. Yosaku opened his eyes. Now he knew. The family stared when Yosaku spoke. Please, he said, move that garden stone. Dig beside the pine root. Let the water breathe again. Some servants laughed. A poor charcoal burner telling a wealthy household how to cure a fever. But Hana's mother fell to her knees. If there is even a little hope, she said, then move it. The men brought wooden poles and lifted the stone. Beneath it, the pine's root was bent and pale. They dug into the hard earth. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the ground shivered. A thin thread of water appeared. It widened, brightened, and bubbled up clear as morning. The old pine sighed, and every branch trembled as if rain had finally come. Inside the house, Hana's mother held her daughter's hand. A cool breeze moved through the room. The bitter smell of fever faded. Then, Hana's fingers twitched. Her eyelids opened. Mother, she said. The whole house seemed to breathe. Servants wept. Her father bowed until his forehead touched the floor. In the garden, Yosaku heard the sparrows singing, water, water, water. The family brought out gold, more gold than Yosaku had ever seen. But he shook his head. I did not heal her, he said. The pine told me where the pain was. The water did the rest. He accepted only enough to mend his leaking roof, buy rice for the winter, and leave a little offering at the roadside Jizo. The family never forgot his humility. That night, Yosaku sat by his small fire. The roof no longer leaked. A new sack of rice rested in the corner. The Indigo Hood lay folded beside him. Outside, the forest was dark, yet it did not feel empty. He heard pine needles brushing the moonlight. He heard insects turning under leaves. He heard the small stream below the village running free, and he bowed his head in thanks. This tale is called Kikimimi Zukin, the listening hood. In many old Japanese stories, the natural world is not silent. Trees remember, birds warn, water carries messages. The person who listens with humility may learn what pride cannot hear. Perhaps that is the quiet lesson of the hood. Wisdom is not always a louder voice. Sometimes it is the smallest one. Thank you for listening. May your dreams be peaceful.